Hello learners, myself Ms. Vedika Narvekar would like to discuss with you on a small topic named Bioinformatics. So now let's see what are the learning outcomes. So after the completion of this video, a student shall be able to apply knowledge and awareness of the basic principles and concepts of biology, computer science and mathematics in existing software effectively to extract information from large database and to use this information in computer modeling and problem solving skills, including the ability to develop new algorithms and analysis methods, and understanding of the intersection of life and information sciences, the core of shared concepts, language and skills, the ability to speak the language of structure function relationships, information theory, gene expression, and database query. Bioinformatics, it is a science of collecting and organizing biological data. So it is a branch of computer science that develops various methods and software tools to understand and analyze biological data. Initially, the main emphasis of bioinformatics was creation and maintenance of database to store biological information such as nucleotide and amino acid databases. But now the scope is extended and is used for the determination of biologically significant data and its analysis. It combines the use of mathematically statistical and computational methods to analyze various types of biological, molecular and genetic data, that is DNA structures and compositions. Okay, so now here is a reflection spot for the viewers. What can be the possible goals and objectives of bioinformatics? Please record your answer in your notebook, and now let us discuss if you all have finished recording your answer. So first, the goals are to understand the living cell and its function at a molecular level, and detailed analysis of raw material sequences. Bioinformatics is necessary to understand the proper functioning of genes in human body, because in later stages of pharmacy, a particular drug's design, target selection in a design and its mode of action is entirely based on these facts. Here are few objectives of bioinformatics. First one is to study normal biological process, analyze the cause of disease, then design various approaches to improve biological process, then improve drug discovery techniques, and also helps in developing new target drugs for fatal diseases. Moving on to the concept of bioinformatics, it refers to its approach towards balancing biology, mathematics, and computer programming in order to ensure availability of tools to compute and analyze biological data in the best possible manner. So it provides a deeper understanding of biological, molecular biology, software programs, program coding and decoding, study of DNA structure and composition, etc. Nowadays, bioinformatics is getting popular because it applies knowledge from both biology as well as computer science, and this is for the use to find new techniques of biological developments for better human health. It also provides a very challenging task for researchers, as it usually converts biological observations into digital format or a language that can be read by the computer. So we can say that biological reaction, when it is digitalized using a computer readable format, together we can call it as a bioinformatics. These are the few examples of bioinformatics database. So we have already seen what is the meaning of bioinformatics. Moving on to bioinformatic database, it refers to collection and compilation of data which is structured, presented and cross-referenced across the globe. So moving on to the few example. First one, GenBank or UniProt, which is used in biological sequence analysis, InterPro, PFARM, used in finding protein families, Sequence Read Archive, used in next generation sequencing, GenoCAD, used in design of synthetic genetic circuits, pre-DDICTA calculates the drug-DNA interaction, and lastly Sanjeevani, which is used in complete drug design software. Moving on to the classification, biological databases are most important components of bioinformatics because they can be accessed from any web server. Most of the databases are merged with each other, so searching one is virtually the same as searching all others, as well as it supports several input types for query sequence. Moving on to the type, first one is generalized databases, which includes data of DNA, protein, carbohydrate, or 3D structures, etc. And the second one is a specialized database, which includes data of EST, that is express sequence tag, RNA, genome, protein families, pathways, etc. So the data is further classified by using various parameters such as according to the data type, that is genome database, sequence database, structure, enzyme, disease database, bibliographic database, etc. Under this we have genome database, which contains information of whole genome sequence of virus, eukaryotes and prokaryotes. Sequence database, which include protein and nucleotide sequence data. Structural database, which comprises of biological data of 3D structure of proteins and nucleic acids. Enzyme database, which deals with structure, function and pathway of various enzymes. Disease database, which contains information of disease. Bibliographic databases, which contains or comprises of articles and research papers of different journals. Second category under this is according to the maintenance status, that is National Center for Biotechnological Information, NCBI, Swiss Institute of Bioinformatics, SIB. Moving on to the next, according to data access. So this database is available publicly with a copyright for browsing only, but it can't be downloaded. The next type is according to the data source, which again contains two under it. That is, first one is the primary source database, which contains original data from the researchers, and mostly it is directly available for public or open access like NCBI, GeneBank, etc. Second one is the secondary source database, which generally contains results from entries of a primary database. So it is created manually or generated automatically. And the last one under this is according to the database design, which contains flat files and includes relation database. Now moving on to the features of biological database. First is the heterogeneity in the data, which contain diverse type of biological data that can be used for various purposes. Second one, high volume data, which contains large amount of data. It's collected in a database such as disease database, which contains information about every disease and its aspect. Moving on to data curation, that whatever information present in database is neatly assembled, managed and represented. And lastly is the data sharing, which the database information can be used and shared. Here's another reflection spot for the viewers. What can be the possible impact of bioinformatics in vaccine discovery? So here I am with the impact of bioinformatics in vaccine discovery. It helps in discovery of vaccines in a more effective way and in a shorter span of time. It reduces the time and cost required to develop high potency drugs with the fewer side effects. It also helps in designing an ideal vaccine, largely depends on targeting pathogens and the interaction with existing drugs. So study of genome sequence of various pathogens along with rapid advancement in biotechnology allows to collect large amount of useful information about host and pathogens that play an important role in the discovery of vaccines. Hence, bioinformatics has the potential to improve process of vaccine development. Lastly, we move on to the limitations of bioinformatics. First one is the expensive technique. The field of bioinformatics requires sophisticated laboratory of molecular biology for detailed study of biomolecules, and establishment of such laboratories is expensive and requires large funds. Secondly, it requires skilled person. As these tools are computerized or computer based, the study of cellular process using these tools requires specialized softwares. So the special training is compulsory. Second, it requires timely maintenance. So the maintenance and upkeep of molecular laboratories involves lot of expenditure, which becomes a limiting factor too. Nextly, threat of viruses. So several problems such as deletion of important data and corruption of the programs can be due to the threat of virus. Lastly, uninterrupted electricity. There should be uninterrupted power supply for computer-aided biological investigations, as interruption of power supply may sometimes lead to huge loss of huge data from the computer memory. Thank you for watching and happy learning.